Awesome, awesome. So I was asking before you guys got here if Mike was getting anything out of this, and I'd love to hear from you, Rachel and Nancy, also, if this has been helpful or just if you got anything, I guess.
Carolyn, I only saw last week. I didn't see the week before. I took a lot of notes. I I liked David's in the background. I liked the fact that there were more people, because I'm actually have been watching Sally Costas too, and it's either only me or me and one other person, so there's not a lot of interaction. So that's what I liked about last week. So I said to David, I'm going to watch this one too. So, but I took a lot of notes. So I haven't done anything yet, but
yeah, that's fine. That's fine. It's just, you know, it's there for to use if you'd like to. Rachel, how about you?
I think it's given, it's just opening up another avenue to EXP and to income and just options. And so I don't know how beneficial it is to, you know, I don't know, Matt and Davin and all these guys who are doing so well. There he is, and are so seasoned in the business. And I feel like I'm soaking everything in. And so I like the back and forth. I love the role play that we did last week. That was really helpful. Because I just don't know how to approach people without it being sounding salesy. I can talk to anything that I really invest in and I really believe is a good product. I know that EXP is a good service, and so or agency, and so I'm ready to talk about it. I feel like that just wheels need to start turning a little faster. Yeah. And this is just oiling the wheels a little bit more. So you know, sorry for the analogies and all that, but I think this was really beneficial, and to sit down and just learn. So.
Awesome. And Mike, you want to share your thoughts again? Because I know it was just you and me earlier.
Yeah, you know, I can echo several sentiments that Rachel had for sure. It's great. What I've been gaining from it is the different perspectives, particularly from those who have been doing it for a while now as well and have been successful. I like hearing, you know, how they've targeted going after individuals to bring on board, the conversations they've had, kind of the approach they take to that. So I was telling Carolyn earlier that you know, on each one of these calls so far, I've taken away a few small nuggets that I can use for sure, and that's been great.
That's all we can ask for.
Yeah.
Awesome. Good morning, David.
Good morning.
There you go. Hi, good morning. How are you doing?
Good. How are you? David too. David and David.
Yeah.
David,
Yeah.
I was just asking everybody if they're getting anything out of this and if it's being helpful at all.
Yeah, I think it's definitely helpful in getting the perspective that you bring, and you know, there's a couple things in it that, yeah. Here's the thing, I always feel like, you know, everything we're doing in real estate is you know, like an intense competition. Like there's always you know, some sort of angle, some sort of thing that you're up against out there, whether it's doing deals, you know, trying to recruit agents over, attract agents, you know, whatever it may be. And so I feel like if any one of these classes, any one of these meetings, any one exchange I get from somebody that gives me one little strategical advantage, then it's worth it. And so what I got so far was breaking it up into two meetings, where the first one's all about them, the second was about solutions to what they were telling about, not combining it into one. So I think that's really good strategy. Almost did like a George Bush's in there, but anyway, yeah. So the answer is yes, and I'm always looking for any little minute advantage to help make things go a little smoother and easier, because at the end of the day, sometimes that's all it takes, is that one little thing that you never know how close you are to something, you know, to winning. And sometimes it can be a fraction of a thing that makes a difference.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Hey, David, are you here with us? I can't see your happy face.
Not you. Not you.
Yeah, different Davids, yeah. All right, I don't know if he just is off for a minute. All right, well, let's just get started. So what we're gonna go over just today is the culmination of what we've gone over. So different presentation ideas, some templates, you know, just ideas of what you can do and how you can do it so it makes sense to you and your personality. A little bit about the Join app and just how important that is. Team options and overviews for those of you that are thinking about starting a small team or whatever, your long range plans, and then just links and resources. And at the end, I'll send you all a document with a bunch of links that hopefully will be helpful. So in just starting from the creating a presentation. So I know this can be such a headache for people, but I'll tell you, it doesn't have to be really flashy. It can be anything. It can be something small. It can be a piece of paper that you're working from. But the point is, if you have the talking points, it's like just taking notes. If you have a presentation, it'll remind you of everything that you need to say or at least want to say. So if we look at, there's a ton of them, EXP Explained. These are mostly events. These are videos that people are using. The Model Explained. These are pretty successful from the standpoint of just being able to explain it and explain it the right way instead of just trying to remember off the top of your head. So if you're looking at the different presentations, what you want to make sure you have in it, obviously, I mean, are the commission splits. Some information about EXP University, EXP World, the capping structure. And if anybody was at KW, they will understand that a lot of people don't. So then, and what an icon is something that we only have at EXP, and it's very valuable, if you will. And then obviously revenue share, you've got to understand at least the basics of that part of it and what the stock gifting means. You know, is it on someone on your front line on the first transaction or one every year, or how does that all work? And then obviously what the fees are. Now, the fees, the $85 a month, some states tax it. And those states that tax it, it then becomes $89 a month or whatever it is, $90 a month. So you've got to know what is going on in your state for that. The health insurance, personally, I don't understand health insurance. It confuses the heck out of me, but there's a lot of people that can have that conversation about it. And from what I can understand, it's pretty similar to anything else out there, and hopefully a little bit better. The broker team, the support, what this means to be able to walk into EXP World. Everybody says to me that there's an avatar talking to me, like the first time they go in, somebody comes right up to them and says hello, and they're like amazed by that. So that just people understanding how much support there is from the broker team. You know, we've all got our own states. There's at least 2 people sitting there ready to help during those office hours. And then obviously the meetings, coaching and training, it's just rampant. It's everywhere. There's got 50, 60 hours a week of that. In real life events, you'll come up against people that are like, well, I don't want to be in a virtual world, where there is a big push from EXP right now, from brokerage ops and leaderships, to do IRLs, just because it's a missing piece. People are feeling like it's a missing piece. And then the last thing is really the sense of community and the culture. The culture, when I first got here, it blew my mind. I mean, I was CEO of Keller Williams. I was broker owner of Remax, very different animals. It was very competitive. It was, all right, I got my office. Now I'm not going to, all right, you're the competition. The other offices were the competition. When I got here, everybody's just trying to help. They're all just going to try to share. And it makes sense because we own the brokerage. It's, you know, we all own it together. That was a real big one for me. But whatever speaks to you about wherever you are in the process. These are just the different things that you definitely want to put in that presentation that you're working on. I have a presentation here that I have put together. I'm happy to whip through that. I mean, I won't do it all, but does anybody want to see those slides? Do you want me to show you?
I'd love to see it. I'd love to see what you have there.
Okay. Let me just pull that up. All right, so this is I have 3 different levels, if you will, in my team. So this is for standard team stuff. So it's just, it starts out with obviously just a regular page to begin with. And then I just have an agenda, what we're going to go over, the overview, how it works, joining options, the metaverse, giving back, and compensation and benefits. And then I show them this. This is very interesting for people. This is the hierarchy of how this works at EXP. And this explains that everyone, there is a broker team. So if you're talking to someone and you're bringing somebody in that is already a broker owner, you get to have this conversation like they don't need those headaches anymore. There's a broker team that has all those headaches for you. So now you can just do what you want to do most. So this really helps. So from our standpoint, this is just, these are the pieces for that EXP, and then your group, if you're doing a team or anything else, will hang under that. We have territory managing brokers and associates, agents and associates. So this chart is just helpful so if they're coming from a traditional office, they can see how that works. A little bit about why a team works, what are the different things that are offered on the team. Oh, poor David keeps getting bounced out. And then we have specific coaching and training that we're part of a larger group called the Agent Collective, which does a ton of training and resources. So I go over that. And then we go over the fast start checklist. So anybody that's new, whether they're new agents or just coming into EXP, this fast start it's just a great thing for somebody to go through and understand all the pieces to it. So we want to explain that, you've got all of this. It's not just, hey, come on, be part, but there's so much more to it. Then we go over the pieces of the back office, the Google Drive, all the resources that they have specifically, as well as the larger resources for EXP. And then just a little bit about how it all works. Different joining options. Now, if you are thinking about starting a team, and you're speaking with someone, they don't have to join your team, but they can just join EXP if they want to. So in that, we did a create your own team part, which is they're just joining EXP. They're in your revenue share, not necessarily on your team, or being an independent agent, doing whatever you want. Then we go over a little bit about EXP World, and depending on what's happening there and the person, how interested they are, we'll take them right in. Take them on a boat ride. We have a charitable piece in ours where I set aside a portion of the team income, and it goes back into the territory it came from. So we're in about 27 states, and there's territory managers in those states. So that territory manager and those agents in that area decide where that charitable money is going to go locally on the ground. So I just go through that, how we do that, how we give that back. That's the whole reason we started Brokers Without Borders. And then we go into compensation, which is on this level, it's agent revenue share, stock gifting, and personal commission. So in talking about this, there are 3 different income streams. And if there's anything you're going to take away from all of this, that point is just, if you can go over the numbers with everybody and they can understand that the personal commissions are X, the revenue share blows it out of the water if they want to do that. That's long-term. We all know what it can do, but let people know there's more than one income stream, not to mention the other things that happen at EXP that are possible revenue makers with some of the affiliates. There's also ways to make money there as well, but there's different compensation levels. And then we go through these as revenue share. So it's income stream 1, the revenue share, 2, the stock gifting, what that means. And then 3, the personal commissions. So this is obviously stuff that people want to see as well.
Your commission split's wrong.
Hmm?
Did we go to a 70-30 split, or are we still 80-20?
No,
this
is my team.
Oh, your team. Okay, got it.
Yeah, this is mine.
Sorry, I thought you had a typo.
No, it didn't change. Oh Lord, it didn't change. We also often offer an 8,000 cap or a 16,000 cap. So that's, if you're not doing that, you're not doing that. That's fine. And then just a little bit more about the different specifics of who does what and what the roles are. And then we have guiding principles, so I just go through that a little bit. And then that's the end. And that's our little mascot, Ollie. So this is, I know that's the wrong logo that I see that there. But anyway, so this is just a presentation. This takes a half an hour, 45 minutes, but it after you have the conversation with them, learn everything they want, at least you have everything here. You know, you can take bits and pieces or whatever, however you want to do it. This just happens to be the way we do it.
Okay.
So, let me go back here. Okay, so just a thought on that. So you've got a list, and I'll send you a list of the different things that you should have in it, and kind of take it from there. You can do it again as video. I know, David, you're well into videos. I mean, you can certainly do something with that as well. But the back and forth of this, the conversation part, I think is really, really important. Because, as you know, it's a big deal to change a brokerage. They want to feel supported and whatnot. Okay, so this is Boost. That's the presentation part. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about Boost. I don't know if everybody knows about this. This is initiative EXP just started a couple of months ago. And this is, they're looking at it as though, okay, let's bring in full brokerages or other larger teams. So if you know of any of these people, what Boost means is that they will negotiate specifically with those teams. So I talked to the person in charge of it the other day just to say, okay, so what is it you do? Because it's kind of a little wishy-washy as to what exactly happens. It has to be a team or brokerage of more than 50 agents and a minimum of 100 million in sales in the past 12-month fiscal period. But the big thing about this is the culture alignment. They don't, the killer be killed is not who we are at EXP, and they'll have those conversations with everybody. But anyway, what they're doing at Boost is just taking the numbers of this individual office or whatever and seeing how we can make it better. So the 80-20 will always be there, but there could be other perks on cap deferment and everything along those lines. So if you happen to know of a larger team that you want to talk to bring in a bigger group, there is an option for it. I have the link in your other pieces of it as well. Any thoughts or questions so far? Nope, Rachel, you're muted, bud.
No, I was just saying I had a question, then I forgot what it was because I was listening to Boost.
All right, when it pops back.
It all looks good. I'll write it down next time.
You do that. Okay, the Join app. We all know what this is. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten an email. Hey, what's the link for the Join app? I got to send it to my person to sign up. Well, you really want to do it that way? Are you sure? Because if you are sponsoring a group, a person, it's irrelevant, and you don't like, hey, let me help you through the Join app, you've already started way behind the 8 ball. It's not just a link to send them. That's one of these, yep, thanks, I'm done with you. But if you take the time, 45 minutes, and actually they took out the 11-minute video just recently, so that's gone on the Join app. But if you walk them through it, talk to them about it, especially if you're doing something with a team, there are pieces that are just confusing if you're not an EXP person. So take that time, do the application with them. They did some, and I don't know how much I believe this, I have to admit, but somebody said that they're 50% more likely to stay if you do the application with them. And if that is true, and I don't know if it is, it would make sense that they feel like they're being supported. Because in my position, I see people off board all the time. And when we have that, that exit interview with them, most of the time it's, I was lost. I felt like I wasn't part of anything. And that starts with us. That starts with the sponsor. That's a big part of that. So we want to make sure that they're connected and all of those things make sense for them. And then so you went through Join Up, great, congratulations. Let them know they will be receiving an email from onboarding within the state. but check back in with them. You know, their application process, is everything all set? Do they need any help? It's overwhelming. You all know this. You've all been through this. Some of you very recently, what this means to join EXP, you're inundated. So my advice to them is always just one bite at a time. Learn it when you need it. You don't have to go through everything, you know, and take 3 weeks and figure it all out. You got to do the sky slope stuff. You got to make sure all of that's done. But when it comes to the rest of it, use it as you need it. Just find it as you need it. It's a lot easier. Now also, you can see any of your prospects in my EXP. I'll show you that in a second. So if you're bringing somebody on, you can find out how long they've been in the onboarding process. This is the other reason why you want to check in. And it's not anything other than even a text. Hey, how's everything going? Do you have any questions? How's it all, you know, are you overwhelmed? How's it all going? Now, if they have been in the process for more than 24 hours, or they haven't heard anything, most likely their email went to spam. Happens more than I can tell you. But you can also go to the expert care desk and lobby, which is in EXP World. And if you go to, there's an expert care desk. So you go there, there's, I don't know, 30 people sitting around helping people, but if anybody's got an issue, that's the place to go. They're rock stars in there. They're absolutely wonderful. And then the other part is, if you can also, if anything needs attention as far as specifically, whether it's their MLS, their boards, or anything, they can go to the state specific broker team. Again, we're all just sitting there ready to help however we can. So the Join app is just, I don't know if people pay enough attention to it. It's a big deal. You're setting the tone for who you are and all of their experience at EXP. So just do that.
Is the Join app an actual app, or is it just our careers link that people go to? I'm a little lost with that, what the app is.
It's called the Join app. So it's the link when you go to join,
Okay.
it's join.exprealty.net. That's the Join app. That's the link that people are sending or whatever. But
because I was always sending my davidfessmeyer.exprealty.careers link, and they go onto that link to sign or to join up.
That'll take you there too. That used to actually like put you in as a sponsor, which it doesn't do anymore. That'll do it too. But the point is, I get on Zoom with everybody and I walk them through it. And if they have any questions, that's all great. But that's the same link. It's where it's called the Join app. That's what they call it. So if you want to find here so if you go into my EXP in your revenue share, and I don't know if you all have that, you want to make sure you got that on your phone. If you just click on prospects and then applications and joining, you can see right where they are and see if they would need any help with anything.
Can you give me the name or that link to the Join app again? Just tell me, I can write it down so I have it.
Let me find that. Let me make sure I'm telling you the right second.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I was just, if my link isn't working the way it was, then joinapp.exprealty.net.
No,
Okay.
that's not it. Not it. That's not it. Hold on.
No,
I
okay.
have it as part of my website. So the same thing. I do the. Okay, it's join app.
Okay.
.exprealty.com.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay. Oh, that's that one. That's this one. All right, go back through this.
I'm sorry, did you say join app at? Because I wrote
it's join app, joinapp.exprealty.com.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so back to this. So just a couple of pieces on this is EXP driven. I figured it might be helpful, you know, for somebody, any of it. Just the smooth onboarding process for your sponsee. Is that even a word? I wonder. Trust the process. Always start with the Join app. Sometimes you'll hear, I got a transfer form. I'm going to transfer the board or whatever. No, I'll always start with the Join app because the onboarding process takes care of all the rest of it. again, remind them to check their emails. It's a big deal. Half the time it goes to spam, which I don't understand, but it does. But that onboarding email that they will get after the join app is step by step by step by step. And then just any updates, again, if you want updates, you can go right into the broker team. You first check your own app to see how long they've been in the process. Sometimes it takes time. We're bringing on a team right now in New Jersey that has taken over 70 days because of the MLS. So it gets pretty crazy. And then also just after, if you haven't brought them into the team, into EXP World beforehand, definitely bring them in, introduce them to the brokers, introduce them to the folks in Sky Slope, the TSAs, the compliance people, just so they'll know there's a body in there that's waiting to talk to them. That's a big part of it too. I think that there's always the group that comes in and the group that doesn't, and the group that comes in, they come in a lot, and it's wonderful to have those conversations. So just be cognizant of kind of what's going on. And then I just wanted to do a little bit about the team breakdowns. So we talked about this a little bit before. The self-organized team, you can pretty much do anything you want if you want to start a team. The standard team is you have to have had 6 million or 30 closed transactions in the previous 12 months. And what to know about this as far as the income side of it, it's important. On the self-organized team, you can charge anything you want to the team members to be part of the team, from 0 to 50%, whatever you want to do, it doesn't matter. On a standard team, you have to charge, the standard team is an $8,000 cap or a $16,000 cap, depending on what you want to do. If you offer that $16,000 cap, you can charge whatever you want as far as to the team members. Now, I do the $16,000 cap, so we don't have to charge the agents all 25%. So what happens is, even if someone caps, they're at 20, they have to pay 25% of all their transactions in perpetuity, even after they cap. So you have to decide if that's what you want to do from that standpoint. And it's the same thing on the Mega Icon team, which is 40 million in closed transactions, or 175 in the past 12 months in the fiscal year. You've got to have at least 10 capping members, though, to do that as well. Now, the reason why people want to do that, it's a $4,000 cap if they choose to do that part. Now, just remember, if there's a lower cap, nobody can be an icon. So those are all things you have to take. People say, oh, it's a $4,000 cap. Great. Yeah, but there's more to it. They still have to pay 25% in perpetuity. So that's why they should be offered. If you have options, they should be offered, but those are the three main teams, and there's other idiosyncrasies to it, but everything is tracked through team services. You have a roster of who's on your team, who's doing what, where they are, all that kind of stuff, and none of that is on the self-organized team. You're kind of on your own, which is fine. That's fine too. Regarding a domestic partnership, so these are spouses, so married, legally married in whatever capacity. They share one $16,000 cap, and the agents who structure this way, one person has an $85 fee and the other has a $50 fee on a monthly basis. There's no written team agreement. There's nothing there. It's just a way for a partnership to just get a break, I guess, is what it boils down to. Okay, so that's it. That's all of the pieces that I wanted to go today, but I wanted to find out is, like, are you all planning? What are you thinking? What's your long or short range plan in any of this? And we can talk that through, and if anybody has any questions or thoughts about what they want to do, I think that'd be great.
Can the domestic team icon? My mic was muted a second ago. Do they both icon if they hit the 16?
Oh, that's a really good question, David. Let me see if I can find that out.
Okay, just curious.
Yes, but I gotta check. That's a good question.
Lynn, and did you say that your teammates, they have a $16,000 cap, but there's no split?
No, what happens on a standard team? If they get an $8,000 cap, they are required to pay 25% into the team in perpetuity. So even when they cap, they're 16,000, yes, so they're making another 20%, but that 25% of every transaction never goes away.
Okay, so
And
no
the-
matter what. Sorry.
I was
Does
gonna
that
say,
make
and
sense?
the $8,000 cap members, they cannot icon, right? You have to be a $16,000 capped icon. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
So what if your cap was 16,000? Would you still then have to pay, like, if your team was structured where every one of your members was paying a $16,000 cap, would they still have to pay the 25%?
Mm.
They wouldn't. So it would just be the $16,000 cap and that's it.
And the team leader decides, but if it's an $8,000 cap, there's no playing with that 25%.
Right. Okay. That's good to know.
But you can override that. That doesn't have to be. You can elect a full cap, which means then they don't have it's a different split.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yeah. Thank you.
David, you made it. Welcome.
I was thinking- oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. David was going.
Go ahead, Rich.
I was just going to make a quick comment, kind of back to what you were saying about, why people may fall off and how it can be overwhelming. I feel like it's if I can share from someone kind of recently started with EXP, it's overwhelming because there's so much information, there's so much resources to tap into, and there's so many directions that you could take your business. And I keep learning about new ways to do so. Whereas I've, been in before Karma, before I knew Lynn, there were no resources whatsoever. And I felt lost. But now if I feel lost, I can go somewhere and ask a question to anyone. I could put it out in the world. I can go to my broker. I can go to Lynn. But I think that's a good distinguishment, or I can't find the word, but between the different brokerages that I've worked for, and the community part that Lynn was talking about, that's what drew me to Lynn in the first place. So setting that standard from the beginning, or even bringing that up and emphasizing that feature of the EXP community, I think is also a great attraction for new people coming in. That's all I wanted to say.
Cute. What else? What would be helpful? Where are you going to go from here, if anywhere, or just some more information to put away in your head?
I think it's
Well, I have a couple of questions.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, Brenda, go ahead.
I joined a little bit late in this meeting. What's an IRL?
In real life event. So obviously we do events in world, but in real life just means locally. Like real people getting together and having coffee or whatever.
Okay. And I put some action items that you discussed last week into motion. So
Tell us.
Yeah, I contacted 2 like real estate schools, and I've gotten permissions to go forward, to like fill out the application to come in and like do a presentation about EXP and stuff like that. And so what I wanted to ask this week was, because last week it sounded like it was like more one-on-one, like we get to know them, and at first we try to get all the information about them and what they want, and then we set a second appointment to set a second appointment to actually delve into why they should come to EXP. But if you're in a situation where your first interaction with like a group of people is going to be in like being like a sponsor for snacks and coming in that 15-20 minute time frame, and doing that presentation, which I figured I could just do, like copy stuff that I've seen, like go to the different resources for EXP and download like the 9-minute or 7-minute video that's out there and do that, like that kind of a big overview. But then how do I then proceed? Or is it a different process when that's your first introduction versus like a one-on-one?
I think it depends on how much time you have, Brenda. So from the standpoint, if you're talking about new schools, a couple of things are going on there. They are not realtors, so they don't know the lingo. They're not sure what to do with it. But if you go in to make that whole point of making it about them in the beginning is important, which it can be a little hard if you're just a sponsor at a school. But if you have a group and if you have 10 minutes, just ask them, hey, so what do you want to do with real estate? Why did you get into it? Just get them talking about them. It's not going to be as in-depth as the one-on-ones we talked about before. No, not at all. But you can also have whatever information that you have enough time to share, and make sure you give them something with a link of where they can learn more, or if you're playing a video, or send it to them, however you can do it. It's just going to be a little bit different, but the process itself does work.
Okay, so you do still stick with the same process, you just pare it down?
Yeah, you just tweak it a little bit. Yeah.
Just tweak it.
Yeah. There's still people that are going to have questions about this or that. And, those are just going to, well, I'm in the class and I got to listen also, but just make sure you give them something tangible to take away. If not texting everybody, you may or may not have their contact information either way, but you want to be able to give them something that they can get back to you with from through.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then go forward with the one-on-one initial,
After
meeting,
that, yes, if they show interest in it, yes. And then, yes.
and just follow the process.
Yep. Yeah. And the
Okay.
process it can take forever. It can take a short amount of time, but you can do a couple in one meeting. It all depends, but the step-by-step is the part that works.
Okay.
Makes sense. Rachel, were you going to say something? Nope. Okay.
No.
No.
Carolyn,
Lewis.
what? Sorry. I missed like the first part of it. What would the benefit be for like joining a team versus like just coming in as like a solo agent with EXP? Like, do you think that there's just like an ample amount of support that teams can provide?
All depends on the team. It depends on what they concentrate on, what they're doing, how do they operate, they're all different. They all have different ways of doing things. It's you got to know your team and make sure that you're aligning with the right people that follow what you're doing. There's no one answer to that, Lewis. But from a community standpoint, that's a good thing. I mean, it's that the community probably is one of the biggest parts of it. And then you have to align with whatever the team is and whatever the person is. You don't want to just throw, spaghetti at the wall and, hey, come on and join us. No, you got to be on the same path. You got to be wanting to learn the same things and do the same things and find out what the structure and the trajectory is of the team and speak to that. And those that agree with it will join, and those that won't, that's fine. They'll go somewhere else. It's all good. I mean, you don't just, if you're on a team and you want to talk to them about it and they don't want a team, they can still join under you as an independent, and that's still in your revenue share. That's all good too. That all works.
How do we find out the various teams in EXP? Like, say for instance, somebody is interested in joining, I'd also like to be able to say, if I hear that they have a specific interest, like, let me introduce you to this team, or this team exists, and maybe they would align with your goals. I'd like to also be able to say that to someone. So how would I do
that? Brenda? To what end? Why do you want to do that?
To add value to their experience.
Okay, so a couple of things. If someone is already on a team, stay away.
Mhm.
If someone is an independent and looking to be part, David, those are great glasses. If somebody is an independent and looking for a team, great, that's fine. But do not go to somebody who's already on a team and try to grab them to your bad form. No, not at all. But depending on what somebody's doing and what they want to be part of, an independent you can certainly talk to. But they're not going to be in your revenue share. They're not going to be in your downline or anything along those lines. So if there's a lot to think about from that standpoint.
Mhm.
It
Hey,
doesn't mean you
Len,
can't.
quick question on that follow-up question.
Sure, David.
I would kind of what Brenda was just saying. I do see a lot of brokers in workplace that are new, and they're not with the team at all, but they're asking questions, and they're kind of, you can see that they're kind of lost and trying to, figure it out. Is that something that you could approach in a certain kind of way, or?
Absolutely. Yes. As long as they are independent, you can have that. And they might be looking for something. People come into the broker room all the time and say, hey, I'm looking for a team, or,
Yeah, I see
I
that.
need to get connected somehow. And first question is, are you on a team? And if not, and if they say yes, then they need to go back to their team leader and have a conversation because something ain't working.
Right, 'cause
But-
you can see the kind of questions that they're asking, that they're pretty much brand new to real estate and to EXP.
Yeah.
So
No,
that could
there's
be
nothing
that
wrong
could
with
be
doing that at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm a little confused because it sounds like you guys are talking about people who already work for EXP and directing them to a team. Whereas my question was about somebody who's not in EXP, and I'm looking at them to act as their sponsor. So
Hey, then yes, do that all day long. Absolutely. I misunderstood your question. I'm sorry, Brenda.
She's looking for a way that she can find like a list of teams or something. That way she can kind of direct the person to like interview for those teams or something. I think that's what you were looking for, right, Brenda?
yeah, somebody who's not part of EXP that I'm looking to act as their sponsor and bring them in, and just kind of make sure that they get on their feet in EXP the way they want to, not just like saying, here, let me sponsor you, and then I just, fade into the woodwork.
That's your choice. I mean, that's your call. If I don't, there is a list of teams, there's a leaderboard of all the teams, but as a sponsor, that's your call to just not fade into the background. If you're looking from the support standpoint, be that person. Be there for them, let them know that you're there for them, and check in every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
But is there like a list of teams or somewhere where she can kind of direct the people to?
Idea. No
No?
idea. I mean, that
No
would be
idea.
through MLS. It's not, if you're talking about outside of EXP, no clue. You'd have to research that. And maybe your local MLS?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's
Yeah, I think
nothing.
I understand now. And so I guess when you guys were talking about a person who already works for EXP and that person being independent, that's for somebody who wants to start a team of their own, right? Is that why that came up? Okay.
If I know yes, that's if
Okay.
somebody wants to start a team on their own, or they want to build their team or whatever it is. Yeah. You can
Okay,
do
I got that.
that part of it if you choose to. It could be one or two people, but whatever, could be a bunch.
Oh.
But from a revenue share standpoint, they have to be from outside. All right, any other thoughts? So who's gonna do what? Anybody gonna do anything with this?
Well, I'm trying. Sometime in the week after Labor Day to go into at least one place and give a presentation on EXP
You.
and then go from there. So that's my plan.
Here we go. Well, if anybody, wants to go over one and, wants to just go over one-on-one, any thoughts or plans that they got, I'm more than happy to do that and help however I can. But you got some ammo anyway, at least you got a little bit to start with.
I have a question. The links that you said you were going to offer at the end, that include like just the breakdown of EXP. And I was, for some reason, insurance as an example, that would include, you would include a link on the insurance and what it includes and things like that.
You're saying what you would give, what you would hand out, if you will?
Yeah, I thought you had mentioned in the beginning that you have links.
I do. I have a list of
Oh.
links.
A list
Yeah.
of links. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And it just includes just kind of a breakdown from your presentation of like what we can share in our presentation, information on EXP.
Like what to put in a presentation and the links to get the information for that.
Okay, all right. I just want to be armed with as much information as I can.
All right, let me actually.
I heard somewhere about the insurance. I don't have it because I don't need it at my age, but that people will save anywhere from $600 to $800 a month.
Oh, interesting.
Does anyone have their EXP insurance? Just curious.
I did at one point, but I switched out of it because
Good
the
night.
Rhode Island what's it called? The Rhode Island health insurance or whatever.
Oh, I don't know, Louis.
There's like the Rhode Island healthcare, whatever. It's like,
Is it United Healthcare?
yeah,
Yeah.
it was like a lot cheaper. But
Okay, this is a Google Doc that has all kinds of links that you can find information to put in your presentation if you'd like. So I threw that up there. And then if there's anything else that you need or just have questions about, just reach out to me. Let me know. I'm in workplace chat and most of you have my phone.
I signed into that link. It says you need request access to it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the same thing, man. Access denied.
Denied. You'll not get in.
Denied. All right,
Right.
can you request it? I'll do it. I don't know why that.
I did. I
Okay.
request access.
thank you, Lynn.
Share request, here we are, okay. All right, I think it's because I'm from another account, working out of my work account. There we go. Okay, I'll do those. All right, cool. Anything else? Any other?
I have
Oh,
Did
can
you
we
hear
hear
me?
you, Brenda? Yeah.
Can you hear me? I have one last question. It's a little off topic though. How do we, since our emails are virtual, kind of sort of that I guess they kind of just send everything to our personal email. If I want to send an email from and make it look like it's coming from the work email, how do I do that?
Should be
Everything.
an alias within Google. I'm assuming that that's what you're using, but if you click into the settings of your Gmail account, you can create an alias name that shows up, even though, for instance, let's say you have a personal email and your work email, and you want your personal email to appear as though it's coming from your work email. You can go in and create an alias in there for that account, and it sends it that way.
And then, so when I want to send an email from that alias, how do I tell it to send it? Like, I don't always want my personal email to look like my business email, but there are emails now that I want to send it from the business email.
It gives you the ability to toggle it on and off. So if you don't want,
Okay, all right.
you just go into the settings before you send the email and turn it off, and it'll come up that way. I have personal and a couple of different job emails as well, and so I just toggle them depending on who I'm talking to.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Carlos. Great. Well, thank you for spending some time with me, guys. I hope some of this was helpful and you got at least one nugget out of it.
Yes, it's very helpful. Thank you.
Thanks,
Are
guys.
you
I'm
gonna
around
be-
if you.
You're in the broker room if I need to chat with you for a sec?
I am. I'm
Okay,
here.
cool.
What
All
else
right,
is new? All right,
Thank
bye, guys.
you.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
All
Bye.
right. Thank you, Lynn.
Thanks, David.